channel. Hey, this is Juanita. Today I'm going to be planting 2 clematises, 3 melting fire heucheras, and 3 Japanese grass. Now I'm also going to be moving this foliage over here so that I can put my Japanese grass in, and I'm also going to be moving over my ivory hosta over a little bit just to give it some elbow room because I'm going to be planting 2 clematises here. Now I've been looking for clematises for nearly all summer so far, and I haven't found any that were just full and gorgeous, and these 2 met the bill. Now I have a Nelly more over here, and that one grows about 12 feet tall, 4 feet wide. Then I have Elsa Spath that grows about 10 feet tall and 4 feet wide. Now the Nelly more, that one has pink flowers that are about 6 to 8 inches in diameter. They're the same color palette that the one that I planted over here on my sun to shade garden, so go catch that video. And it's has this white variegated in the center. Now the Elsa over here grows these blue flowers, and I don't know the diameter of them. Hopefully they're going to be a good size. But both of them require morning sun, afternoon shade. In fact, this whole area right here from my hydrangea over to the chicken runner all require afternoon shade. Now this area here will get really intense morning sun, and when we had 112 degrees, my hydrangea flower bloom actually fried. But it's doing good, as you can see. Typically heucheras can't tolerate full sun, but the rule of thumb on heucheras is that the darker the foliage is, the more sun tolerant they are. What I do to make me a more successful gardener is that I will go buy plants, I place them in the area that I need them to be in, and then I monitor them for about a week to find out whether they can handle the weather or the shade or whatever it is. I also buy plants according to the rest of my plants as far as the watering type that they are. Now I know that all these are going to be somewhat drought tolerant. So yeah, I've had these plants out here for a long time, waiting to be planted, monitoring it, and I know that they're going to be great. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and get busy. I'm going to take all the plants out of here so that you can see a before picture before I get started, and then I will get started and putting everything that I need to in place, and hopefully this won't be a very long video. So now that you've seen what the before is, as always, I'm going to be establishing my plants with fish fertilizer. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like this video. And also hit that subscribe button and that notification button so you catch me on all my videos. Okay, I'm going to get started. for me. I'm really happy with the end results. I hope you are too. Now the Heucheras, because they are very dark, you can't hardly see them in this light, but I will do a morning shot at the end of this video so you can see what they look like during the day. But they do get a lot of sun, especially right here. Now, I try to point out the buds because both Clematises have buds on them. So it is showing promising that I'm going to get flowers. Now, I'm going to guess that they're going to be pretty small blooms initially, and then next year they'll probably be better. But again, I have this empty spot in the center. Please give me your opinions as to what I could possibly plant there. And they'll basically accept sun, morning sun to afternoon shade. Okay, with that said, the chickens are loving it. I will bring you really close so you can see everything. I don't even know what the name of that shrub is. If you know it, please leave it in the comments below. The grass, the Kona grass, is going to just be absolutely gorgeous there. I just am so happy that I did what I did. Now, my Heucheras, they're going to be just fine. They can take the sun. Back to the Japanese grass. What I love about Japanese grass is it just adds a lot of coolness to the area. It brings that breezy feel to a garden, and I just absolutely love the feel and the look of Japanese grass, and this couldn't have been a more perfect spot for it. And of course, Apple, she's got a really bum leg. We were told by the vet to possibly put her down, but she is so alive and happy, and the other two chickens are so protective over her that there's just no way. So she's on antibiotics, so naturally we can't eat the eggs. I'm just saying that because she just happens to be right here. But look at these two beautiful Clematises. These Clematises are gorgeous, and they actually both have blooms. This is a Nelly Moser again. I think I called it something else earlier, but it actually has a bloom. I thought it had two blooms, but I think the chickens must have ate one while I had my back turned. And then my Elsa Spath, this one has two blooms here, and one bloom here, and one bloom here. Oh my gosh, this are blue, just like my lily over here. There's about the same color of blue Clematis is going to be. And so it's going to be a really nice complement to my lilies here. And it'll also be a complement to the blue hostas here. Anyway, I really love how it all turned out. I hope you are too. Oh, remember the hosta that you could barely even see a leaf coming up? Look at that. That is doing really well. Okay, so the weather is really being unpredictable today, and I was hoping that this was going to work out. But as you can see, my three melting fire Heucheras are in full sun. My Hydrangea, which is a bloom struck, I think I'll put it right down here for you. That's been kind of struggling as far as blooms, but it's still blooming and it's doing great. But look at these two Clematises, aren't they beautiful? I will bring you really close so that you can see. Now you wouldn't think because they're in shade that they would not bloom, but they are getting filtered sun through that fence. So I'll talk about those later. Now my Japanese grass is doing wonderful. It actually gets a lot more sun than it's getting right now, but that's okay because they require shade to really perform really well. Now, I added 4 new hostas to this area, and I did it off camera because I ordered them and they were in my kitchen for a long, long time. And so after I ended up filming the earlier part of this video, I just decided to get them planted. So here they are. Now, 3 of them are going to do fine in this area, at least until everything starts really growing. And one of them is definitely, probably in another season or 2, is definitely going to have to move, depending on how fast it grows. So I'm going to bring you up close just to talk about those a little bit, before I let you go. But let me bring you really close so that you can see this beautiful flowers. It's been about a week span between the first part of this video that I taped the first part of this video and now. So they're beautiful, and I ended up switching them. So aren't these beautiful? Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to see some blooms on this. Usually I have to wait about a year or two for it to actually get really nice foliage like this and also bloom. So happy to see that this happened. But as you can see, the Elsa Spath over here, let's see if I can do this without it ruining the, but it looks like it didn't quite open up quite well. I don't know what's going on there. It looks like it's split, but it's still gorgeous. Now in film it looks really dark purple, but in real life it's almost kind of like a lavender vine in the center right here, and then the outer part isn't as deep of a purple as it appears on film. But it is gorgeous, and then it's got these little spiny little petals around it, and it's just gorgeous. And then, of course, again, I switched them. So never mind those little tags back there. And then again, this one here is a Nelly Moser, and that start off white, and then they will gradually, as they get older, and within the next 2 seasons, they'll really start being more pink. But they will start off with white, and then they will start veining out and becoming more and more pink. But look at that little end. Now this flower actually has grown a little bit. Initially, this part here, it just looked like somebody took a paintbrush and just swatted it. But it's still gorgeous. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know, if you have any questions on these at all, let me know. But again, this one here gets about 12 feet tall, 4 feet wide. The Elsa Spath gets up to about 10 feet tall and 4 feet wide. They're both morning sun, afternoon shade. And as you can see, the foots of them are in shade, but then as you get up here, they're getting all that sun from the neighbor's yard. So that's why these bloomed. And so that just pleases me to see, because now I know that these are going to perform really well for me. At least I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. I don't know what's going on here. It looks like it's got some little black dots. It looks like they're moving. They're being removed. So maybe it's a bug. Supposedly, these are supposed to be somewhat disease resistant. But if you don't keep an eye on them, aphids can get to them. And, just spray them with a little bit of soap and water. That's what I do with a lot of my plants, and that helps with any kind of aphids, especially like around rose bushes. And then over here, I actually have a combination. It looks like I actually do have, because I did plant 2 roots here, and it does look like this one here is a blue angel, and then this one, I don't know what it could be, but I'm not sure. I think they're both giants though. And it's getting really nice filtered light, but it's not getting direct light, and it's being protected. So I'm okay with that. In fact, all these hostas are getting somewhat a little bit of filtered light through the fence, but just perfect shading for them. This one here is a Komodo dragan. Now this one is going to have to be moved probably next season. Depends. It depends on how fast it grows, because it's been growing pretty fast since I got it, and it was just like probably this big when I got it. And granted, it was in my kitchen, wrapped around with some toilet tissue as it was delivered that way. But it's still beautiful. But this one here, this one is going to get about 3 feet tall and 7 feet wide. So it's just ain't gonna fit here at all. But I planted it here because I just needed to get it planted. Now, my Patriot here is still doing beautifully. The flower, of course, is dead now. And yeah. And a lot of these, I'm really surprised in this area that they are not getting tore up by snails. It could be because I have a lot of this dirt here. It's a dark fur mixture with sand. Really keeps the weeds at bay. But I think they're pretty harsh for snails to get. So if you're trying to get rid of snails, and then of course some of these are snail resistant. Now this one here, as you can see, it's an island breeze, and you can see the tag and how beautiful that thing is going to get. And it doesn't look like it right now, but this is really how the leaves were going to get. And then they have just a little bit of red on the stems, so I'm really excited to see color on that. And this one looks like it gets morning sun to full shade, so. And that's pretty much standard with hostas. And then of course my Hudson Bay here is just filling out and being beautiful. Now outside of the Komodo dragon, this one here is only going to get about probably 12 inches tall and about 18 inches wide, so it's going to be perfect in this area. My Hudson Bay and the ivory over here, the Patriot, not the ivory, but the Patriot. That one, these two, they're just gonna kind of fill in this little areas here. They're not gonna get big, maybe about the most 24 inches wide. And then this one here is called a Medioverigata, and all that means is that it is a green leaf with a stripe in the middle, and that is exactly what it has. It just has this little pinstripe leaf, and that's going to be gorgeous. And these two are going to be giants, so this may need to be moved eventually too, but we'll see. I probably more likely move that one and then place something else in its place. Hi there, Big Red. Apple's over there. No? Where is Apple? Anyway, blue ivory over here is looking gorgeous. It actually even bloomed. And then, of course, this one here. This one here, I think, to me, is a must-have in your garden. I have seen it in other videos, and I've seen it in pictures and researching it. And this one here is a June hosta, and if you're familiar with them, they are just stunning. And they grow in a mound shape, and they're just the blue hue or wax or whatever you want to call it is just stunning when they mature. And so it's going to fit just perfect here. I did have a Japanese fern here, but it was getting a little stomped on from the chickens, and they don't really like sun, but I moved it over here, and actually doing quite well. And in fact, it's getting some new leaves here. So yeah, it's gonna do fine, I think. And if not, I'll move it elsewhere. So as you can see right now, at the end of this video, everything is pretty much on shade. So with that said, thank you so much for watching again, and I'll see you guys on my next one.